Okay. So my name is Alexia Froudkine. I'm representing EIT Digital. I'm the ecosystem lead for France, and I'm happy to share our expertise and view about venturing in Europe. First of all, I'd like to ask you if you're familiar or already been in touch with EIT and know what it is about. Nobody knows? Okay. So, and amongst the audience, who has already, let's say, raised funds or is in business for more than 3 years, let's say? Nobody. Yes, you are. If somebody doesn't mind opening the door, great. Thank you. So, what I propose is to run through a couple of slides to introduce you to what EIT Digital is, and then I'll come to the different offerings and services and how do we support startup and scale-ups all over Europe. And at the end, I'll be sharing a couple of projects we have that are currently dedicated to startups if you are interested in participating in. So indeed, EIT Digital, it's an impact organization. We are a non-profit funded by the European Commission and all its funding members. We're existing for 15 years now, and EIT stands for European Innovation Institute of Technology. And there are several KICs. What we call a KIC is a Knowledge and Innovation Center, digital being one of the oldest one, and we are covering topics such as smart digital cities, digital industry, fintech, digital healthcare and well-being, digital tech in general, and another one that I just forgot, but he'll come back to it, smart city, industry, health, tech, and fintech. I guess I got them. So we are an ecosystem that is spread all over Europe, and we are present in 15 countries. So we have corporate, research and innovation institutes, universities, startups, scale-ups, VCs. All those people are part of our ecosystem, and this is why it makes a huge impact all over Europe. We have indeed a lot of startups we are interacting with. We have 350 partners amongst universities and corporates, and a lot also of governmental organizations we are interacting with. We have indeed a lot of ventures that have emerged from our ecosystem in the past 15 years, and we are accompanying them from their early stage to the exit. We also have a strong education activity. So we are delivering a master school that has the particularity to be combining innovation and innovation technology, and innovation entrepreneurship. And we are covering 9 major topics, and those master schools are enabled by European funds we are, applying for with our partner universities. So we are indeed accompanying an entrepreneurship initiative from this education organization up to unicorns. And what we want is to make sure that we are all over the steps to facilitate the growth and expansion of innovative European startups and scale-ups. Our mission is really to be an added value delivery platform to accompany the new European innovation agenda, which means delivering more and more tech and deep tech specialists, bridging the innovation divide all over Europe, and continue to extend and reinforce innovation strength of European companies. So the innovation model we follow is a virtuous circle between all the EU innovation funds that are then, given through EU calls. We are coordinating consortium to answer, and then we are turning to our ecosystem for everything that is cascade funding. So amongst the large consortium we are operating, a part of them, of the money that we are raising, is also dedicated to run project and call for project that are catered for startups and their partners. And all this is a virtuous circle to also make sure that new products and services are properly launched all over Europe by this consortiums. We are indeed mixing a lot of players from various countries, from strong and leading innovation territories to moderate one. And what makes us special is that we are indeed building consortium, mixing people that wouldn't necessarily have worked together, either coming from various geographies or coming from various type of enterprises, and mixing research and innovation fellows, pure research, research and corporation. And depending on the criteria you have in the various European calls, you need to mix either territories or type of players. And we are the turnkey player for this, for everything that is Digital Europe project. We are the #1 recognized organization in Europe by the European Commission to be coordinating those consortiums. The new agenda flagships. So as I was saying, our role is really to be able to fund and support deep tech talents. It's to accelerate European innovation and address the innovation divide, and then make sure that deep tech talent and company will arise around Europe. So we have a set of core services, indeed. We have a venture program, we have Open Innovation Factory for startups, and we have an access to finance service to a company scale up, and I'll come to those in details after that. The EIT Digital Venture Program, so indeed it's to accompany a startup in a year time from its idea to its first investor. So it's a program that is run for various years. It's indeed to accompany and incubate those startups. It's to leverage our ecosystem of corporates and help them really be put in touch with their first investors. It's a program that is run in 24 countries, and unfortunately, it's not run in France, but it's run in the major European countries. The strategic partnership model we have, that I was saying, it's really about being in touch with all the different type of strategic partners that we can really embark into the various projects and EU calls we are answering. And it's a unique mix of a lot of European actors, and the specificity is also have to have people on the ground and in the different countries that can really develop and have a really strong knowledge of each of their local ecosystem, and we can succeed in really building targeting and strong consortium to be able to tackle European project goals. Why partner with EIT Digital? It's because we have indeed a track record of major EU funding. We raised more than 250 million in Europe in the past 3 years. We are really focusing on building strong consortia to tackle those programs, and we have a very good success rate. We answered like more than 150 European project calls, and we have approximately a 30% success rate, which is pretty impressive. And we are really mixing regional authorities, universities, corporates, and startups and technological partners that wouldn't necessarily have worked together to answer such EU calls. We have some added value programs that are proved and ready for deployment, and we can really mobilize actors all across Europe. Feel free to ask any question at any time if you have some. About fundraising, so I'm here with my colleague Hicham, who is representing indeed France and Benelux. So if you have more technical questions and issues around VC fundraising, he'll be happy to tackle them with you. So indeed, it's a team, and it's an expert team that is really here to work for the founders. So it's an experienced team. It's people that have 20-year experience of VC funding, technologies, links with the various investors, and they are really here to accompany and coach founders to make them in the best condition to be able to raise money. They have a deep understanding and knowledge of more than 1,000 investors all over Europe, and therefore, you know, it's really about making you in the best driving seat to succeed in your funding campaign. We have made a lot of deals for our partners all over Europe in the past year, and we mainly raise between 3 million and 20 and up millions for those companies. A few words about the VC activities. Indeed, VCs are more and more, I would say, requesting and I don't find the word, but I will find it back. Demanding, and also we can see that the level of investment is back today to what it was between 2019 and 2020. So we are up to normal and back to normal. The team has the ability and the experience to also be raising funds in difficult times, so they are really here to accompany that. And the stronger and the more structured the proposition is towards VC, the better it is. And this is the formula to really succeed in fundraising. It's really make sure that you have a compelling investment proposal, that you talk to the right investor, that indeed you have a structured and efficient fundraising campaign, and that in parallel of that, you keep growing your business. So what does it mean in details? The compelling proposition, it's really about making sure that you can gain attention from investors because you don't have a second chance to do so. And they are really here to help you structure and prepare the best proposal to be able to attract investor and gain their attention, and making sure that it complies also with the topics and the taste and preferences of the various investors they will be putting you in touch with. Talk to the right investors, indeed, it's key. So it's like an iceberg, of course. You have on top a lot of players that are well known, but sometimes not so easy to reach. And you also have more and more people and investors that are less visible, less promoting themselves, from, let's say, super angels to hedge fund, to corporate, to family offices. So it's people that are probably less visible, but they are investing quietly. And also bear in mind that there are a lot of investors that are not necessarily based in Europe, but invest a lot into European startups. And therefore, the role of the team is really to be here to make sure that it's going to be the best match between what the startup has to offer and the expectation and taste and preferences of the various investors. And identifying those players takes time, so the team is really here to support the founder so that he can, of course, manage this long-run funding campaign, but at the same time stay focused on its business. So indeed, as I was saying, making a structured proposition is what makes the most sense. So due diligence, assessment, questioning takes more and more time. We move from a nice-to-have proposition to investor really looking at must-have products and services. So therefore, you need to get ready to this 9 to 12 months long run. And the more the proposition is structured and rigorous you are, and ready to also follow up and hold the meeting and be able to stay on the ground during this long period, the better it is. And until the term sheet isn't signed, you're not there yet. And the team is also here to bring its expertise to also be able to assess and recommend the best timesheet based on experience, based on the knowledge of the market, of the technology, etc. As I was saying, while you're raising, the business needs to continue because during this time, of course, investors are looking at ROI, the traction, the new customer, the POCs you're building, etc. So to grow in parallel is the best way to build the investors' interest. A few examples of a couple of deals we have been supporting. One is from a climate tech in Spain. So as you can see, we have been able to bring together in the deal some US venture funds, such as Microsoft Climate Fund, some Spanish and Portuguese. So we are really able to do cross-border investment arrangements. And another one from an Italian company that was more working with blue economy and typical tech VCs that indeed are coming from various countries amongst Europe, and we are accompanying those companies in their steps. So we are accompanying them 12 months, and we are following them up 12 months also after. If you want to be put in touch with the team, the Access to Finance team, indeed I invite you to scan this QR code and fill in the form, and you will be put in touch with the appropriate contact depending on the regions you are located. And as I was saying, Hicham is the person if you're located in Benelux or France, and he'll be happy to be put in touch with you. What we are educating, of course, so we also have a dedicated Speedmaster course that is catered for entrepreneurs. It's a training that is an online training that is covering key modules around management, business development, strategy, and access to finance. So it's an online course once a week for 3 months, and you really get sharing expertise and advices delivered by our experts from EIT Digital and from our ecosystem. And I'm pleased to propose you a special discount if you're interested in this training. So you have a QR code and a code B2B FR to use if you're interested in participating in the next session that will start in March 2025, because we just started a session now. And it's really something that is well appreciated. We have more than 600 startups that have been trained into this through this Speedmaster course. And another initiative that is an initiative led by EIT Digital. If you are a company that has been incorporated after January 2020, you are eligible to participate to our Open Innovation Factory. So it's a call for projects we are running twice a year. If you have currently a project that is set to start and to be taking place in the first half of 2025, you can apply to the Open Innovation Factory. It's about to boost this project, so you need to the project needs to be led by a startup, and this startup needs to build a small consortia with another player or another startups, at least in one different European country. And you can, through this Open Innovation Factory program, expect up to 400K financial support from EIT Digital, and it's a co-funding support, so that it means that your consortium needs to be able to align the same amount of money you request from EIT Digital. And this is also a way to be part of our ecosystem and to be put in touch with the various VC partners, corporation. And if you don't have a specific partner to be associated with, but you have a project you would like to present, we can, of course, help and support and find an appropriate partner to help. So as I was saying, the call is currently opened. It's opened until the 21st of October. So you can go on our website and you have an application form. Evaluation are being run until the end of the year, and projects are to start on the first half of 2025. The way I was saying, it's 50% of eligible cost, and indeed there's a partial pre-financing and then a final reimbursement, maximum 12 months after the start, but everything is pretty well explained in all the documentation you have for this project. And at the end of the project, indeed, there is a request to have an equity transfer to EIT Digital of the project, and it's one of the eligible criteria. So if you're, let's say, older than January 2020, if you don't necessarily comply with the financial support structure we are proposing, then the project won't be necessarily looked at. So it's a small form you'll have to fill in, and a few things to comply with. And we are accompanying 10 to 15 projects in each of those runs, and we have a lot of indeed projects that are presented coming from all over Europe. Yes?
When you say equity transfer, it's on the project itself, or it's for the company that owns the project?
I think it's for the company that owns the project, yeah. So indeed, on our EIT Digital website, you have an Open Innovation Factory section into which you have 2 reference documents to refer to before you move forward if you want to present your product in this upcoming call. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to take any question now. You have my email address. Of course, you know, I'm much more dedicated to accompany the French players, but I'll be happy to also put you in touch if you're coming from another geography with my counterpart in the different European countries, and look forward to accompanying you in your next European venture. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments or things that weren't clear, don't hesitate. Just a second, there is a microphone coming for you because it's recorded, so we can hear your question. Sorry.
If you can please repeat like the grant, is it like more a loan? Because you mentioned about that 50% of the costs will be covered.
Yes, I mean, it's a co-funding initiative, so therefore, you know, we will fund first 50% of the cost that the consortium is effectively putting against the project that is requesting co-funding. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you're running already or if you're part of European projects, if you're interested by Europe, but there are several ways indeed to cover that, either through the 2 initiatives that I was presenting on our hand, but also everything that is tied with this cascade funding aspects of larger European projects. So for example, within EIT we are leading a large European project that is covering digital health. It's really to build a new digital health care valley all over Europe, from Scotland to Greece pretty much, and it's bringing together various regions of Europe, hospitals, universities, etc. And within this large consortium, a part of the money that is gained by the consortium is also allocated to do some call for projects where startups then are able to participate, and it's a way also to fund or co-fund some of your projects if you're in one of the 5 verticals I mentioned that are tackled by EIT Digital. And we have other kicks, I was saying, I didn't necessarily mention them, but maybe in your activities, you can be around innovation, energy, you can be around climate, pure healthcare, or manufacturing, or raw materials. So there are different other EIT kicks, as we call them, that are also operating. And we have slightly different value proposition too and offerings, but as far as digital are concerned, I think you have a pretty good overview of what we can offer and build together in Europe. Any projects on your side that require some funding in the coming months or looking for funding? Where do you stand for your respective business today? Sorry? You're looking at funding. So Hisham is your man. No, he's just looking for funding, so you can discuss afterward. Sorry. Proceed also? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same here? Okay.
I think what you mentioned, I think it's very similar to what we are doing. We are digitalizing and decentralizing clinical trials.
Yeah.
So that it can happen first around Europe, but then globally. Yeah, we are also looking, but from next year, for fundraising.
Okay.
We now have MVP and are testing with users, but once it's product market fit, after that, we are fundraising.
Good. So the goal, and indeed, I didn't really mention it, but this access to finance service is indeed a paid service. So it's really to support you and be able to really structure in the best way and put you in touch with the most appropriate investors. So not necessarily the one on top of the iceberg, but also the one that you don't necessarily see. I don't know if you want to elaborate something around that, Hisham, or if you have more to say to our pre-seed candidates, or if you want to add something.
Hi, everyone. Let me first clarify one thing. EIT Digital is supposed to help you from very early stage, no product available, to almost, to Series C funding. So for each aspect, you will have a dedicated teams that are there to help you and dedicated services. So on the very early stage, there are grants, around 25,000 euros, I think. Yes. So there are grants available for the very early stage. There is the the Innovation Factory for later stage, still pre-seed, where we have, I would say, a co-investment. We can provide up to 400K, but you need to find the other 400. This being said, my team usually helps you find those other 400. So we don't let you. We know it's difficult from there. And then once you have grown and you are generating revenues, preferably above 1 million, but even more preferably above a lot more than 1 million, then we can go to proper investors. And we are there in Series A, B, and C. And we have a dedicated team for the access to the US, because for some reason everybody wants to go there, but it costs a lot of money. It's a very complex market, depending on the segment you are in, but it's, in any case, it's a complex segment. And we have a team for that, and actually a presence locally in the US to assist you in accessing that market. So it's a quite wide margin of and array of services that we provide. Just need to reach out, and we'll see what we can do. please.
Could you please explain more about the investment readiness part and also how to find the right investor?
So once you've grown your company and you have revenues and you need to get more financing, so the growth phase. Well, for the growth phases, it was explained before, we provide a full service. The way we look at it is generally we have founders who have initially received some grants or funded their company through families, friends, angels, or even through universities. We are lucky here in France, in Belgium, in the Netherlands. Universities have their dedicated funds and spin-offs. But then to go to professional investors, VCs, family offices, more institutional investors, you can't go with the same mindset. We can't go with the same presentations. So we work with you first. That's the first phase. We work with you to prepare your deck. You need to have a professional deck. That means a proper presentation. That means financial projections that make sense. There is no point saying you target 20 million revenues if 20 million revenues mean you have 90% of a given market. See, so things have to make sense. You need to have a proper competitors analysis. If you don't have that, once again, how do we know that you know your market? A sizing of your market, as I said. And then once we've worked with you on all those aspects and we have documents that, well, that are not going to shame me in front of potential investors, then we start working on who would be the right fit for you. And the right fit can be a VC, can be a corporate entity, can be a set of family offices, can be all kinds of things. You've seen some examples. We have no restrictions. So I can share with you a case where the company is a Dutch company, but discussing with the management, we find that the best investors are in the Gulf, are GCC countries and GCC investors. So we refocused all our resources to discuss with people from Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait. And we have another case where it happens to be more in Singapore and Malaysia. So we'll work on finding the right investors. Another case is actually a drone company, and really the only ones that are interested in that segment are in the US. So that's the work we do for you. We work with you. We prepare you for the presentations, for the meetings. We rehearse with you. We ensure that, again, because ultimately you are the ones who present. We highlight few points. We ensure that the investors are allocating the right amount of time and giving you their attention. But at the end of the day, it's your job. You are fundraising. We are not. And once we receive some offers, we look at the term sheets. We look at it as founders. We've all been in your shoes at a point or the other. Not me, actually. I've been always on the other side, giving money, never asking for it. Yeah, we look at the term sheets to highlight things that we don't like. But you will still have, for that aspect, you will have to be professional about it, and you will have to have your own legal advice. We are not lawyers. You need to have your own legal advice, but we help. And we can help you get the right contacts, good lawyers, good advisors in general. And we help you adjust sometimes, pivot a little bit the business model when necessary. We help you also recruit the right person. Sometimes at that stage of development and growth, it's opportune to move from the founder being the CEO to having a proper professional CEO. So all these aspects are kind of ancillary to the fundraising, but we have to do them together. Okay? Please?
Yes, regarding the... Okay, no problem. Regarding the early stage company and the MVP size, you said that you can also intervene in that kind of companies. How long the discussion lasts for this kind of company? This is my first question. It lasts with you to get integrated into EIT Digital. And the second question is, you act a little bit for this kind of company as an investor, but also as an advisor. How you get your remuneration? Is it by shares or any other approach?
Okay. Well, it depends which phase we are talking about. If it's really the very early stage, I look at you again. But so pre-product, company just created or not even created, we are talking about grants. And so that's on one side. And the other side are all the trainings we provide. And the trainings are not free. Okay? Next stage, it's the Open Innovation Factory. And our remuneration is, well, we want the companies to succeed. So when they reach the milestones we've agreed upon, we convert the loan into equity. And then the company enters into our cycle, and we hope it grows. We work with it to grow, and when it reaches the phase where it needs to raise more cash, Series A, we intervene. We receive also some fees on that front. There is a success fee. The amount we raise for you, we take a percentage. And then it grows again, and we still have our 5% or 6% or 7%, and the value of that equity increases. And hopefully there is an exit at some point, either just us in the secondary market or the whole company.
Okay, perfect. Regarding the first question, how long it lasts, the discussion?
How long it lasts?
For the early stage. For the early stage, the venture program.
Yep.
It's a one-year program, so it's about accompanying the company during 1 year by the different experts, facilitating some contact with our corporates in terms of ecosystem, because it's a way to generate some starting revenue, etc. So it's a 1-year program. So the idea is really to to start from the idea and get a first investor interest in a 1-year time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Please. Concerning the 400K you mentioned earlier, is it cumulable with other kind of support, like from BPI France, for example? Because they also promise to provide like 50% of the cost of the project, for example. Is it cumulable with? I'm not asking for the 100%.
No. I don't want to say. I don't want to be mistaken. So you really have two documents to refer to the, I would say, Open Innovation Factory overall rules. But I think yes, it's cumulable. It's different. It's two different paths and topics. So yeah, here it's really money coming from EIT Digital, and therefore it requests a certain number of engagements on your side, but you can in parallel ask for funding in France or in your country. It's completely separated, yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot to mention also the fact that as part of this whole ecosystem, there is also the European Innovation Council and the European Innovation Fund with, for example, the Fast Track program, 2.5 million euros. This is for, again, later stage companies. While we don't get, I would say, we don't have a say on who wins, we do know the process. And actually several of the companies in our portfolio, we have successfully put them through this path to raise, between 1 and 2.5 million and 15 million follow-on. So that's another path. And the interaction with DIC, EIF is quite well, it's a strategic relationship and should not be disregarded as part of the whole growth for a company.
Any other question or comment? No? Okay. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and you have my email address. Don't hesitate to be in touch, and if you have any questions, of course, we're happy to facilitate that overall the ecosystem. Thank you very much.